Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 24th of July, and we've been looking at this particular this is a 4-hour chart here. Been looking at wave 4 coming into place here. So today we need to talk about this little area through here, and obviously that if the 3000 becomes support, then we can go along from that point. We can also expect a reaction coming up to this level here and having some type of correction. We can use that correction to, especially if it's a bullish correction, 3 waves, we can also use it to go long. And in that case, we would be looking for 5 waves to the upside in terms of wave 1 here, wave 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. As such, I'm just taking the length of this little stick that I've got here, and the reason for that is because, well, let's just go over that for a second. The top of wave 3 here, and must be 8 o'clock in Sydney. The computer's just resetting itself. Jumps around a little bit on the reset, so just clear one of those off. So what I was sort of looking at is that if I take this low here, just roughly, copy that and then put that on top of wave 2 here, we can see that wave 3 here is actually shorter than wave 1 here. Now that's okay, but what that is telling us, that's telling us that wave 5 here is going to be even shorter than wave 3. So I've taken 61.8% of this length of wave 3 here, and that's 100%. I've taken 62% of that, and that's pretty much this little stick here, so that will take us up there. So it's just a bit of a guide stick, that's all. I'm just explaining what I'm doing there at that particular point. And we don't want that there, we want that at 30, and we also copy that, we want that at 10. So these are the trading levels we're putting in. 3000 is a major level, then we've got 10, 20 and 30, which make up group 1, and then the midpoint, which is 50, and then 65 here, which is halfway between 5 and the next number 8. Here, and then we'll put in 72 and 80 for group 2. 65, 72 and 80 make up group 2. So they're the numbers through the power of 10. So from 3000 to 100 here, which has got the Fibonacci numbers as 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. We've got a little bit more involved with the 8 though, because we've got 72 here as well to make up group 2. Right, so the question is today is wave 4 finished? Because wave 4s can get complicated, or does wave 4 come over here? And in that case here, if I got an ABC here, yes, I can borrow these here. It's good that I don't clean up all my mess. There we go. So it's possible, this is what I need to talk about today, that, I mean, obviously we've got this currently here as an ABC pattern sitting here as wave 4. That's cool. This doesn't count down very nicely on this market as 5 waves down. It does on the cash market, so that's why I'm putting wave 4 in there. But I'd just like to explain other things that can occur as well. So it's possible that if I remove that for a moment and put wave C here, it's possible to have this as wave B here. So in this case, we have a smaller A, smaller B, and smaller C wave here for the B wave, and then we have 5 waves down here. That's possible, okay? So we just need to, I need to mention that. But as it stands at the moment, we'll just put those here. And wave 2 here was simple. So when we look over here, we see how simple it was. So then the guideline of alternation would have this as a more complicated correction here. So, and it hasn't quite pulled back down to its 38.2% retracement level, or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. Close, but not there. Not that it's not like the end of the world though. But all these things sort of add up form some opinion. So, but as it stands at the moment, we can look at this here as wave 1 and looking back for wave 2 here. That didn't work very well. That's better. And then we'll be looking for wave 3 to the upside, of course. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So I'll just put this here as an alternative. I don't want to forget about it, but we'll be looking at this on the hourly chart as well. So it's possible. But the good news is that we can pretty much go long above this high here, or we can go long on this wave 2 here, which we'll look at now on the 1 hour chart. So all a little bit messy here. So we've got group 1 here, major trading level 3 here, subgroup 2 here, midpoint we can put there, move these out of the way. I think it's, I mean, I use the levels, you know, I like Elliott and the trading levels just as a simple support and resistance shore things up, you know, it shores the wave count up and it really shores the setups into a much stronger position. So understanding them is helpful, you know, and you can just continue to use your own indicators and things, but in the backdrop, if you put the levels there, because it's part psychology and part, well, yeah, it's probably all psychology really. It's just a reflection of human nature working with numbers, I suppose, and it's the same thing with Elliott though, isn't it? I mean, if the market's going to go to here and to here and here, then, you know, you'd have to ask yourself, you know, is life preordained, or is it, you know, just random? So anyway, these are all fantastic questions, and it's one of the fantastic things of being with the markets, one of the many. Yeah, with this here, let's just assume this is 5 waves up here at the moment. It's not a bad 5 waves. The Nasdaq counts quite well as 5 waves up here. The third wave here has got a bit of a problem in it. I'll explain that. On the cash market, this move down here counts as 5 waves. In this move down through here, it just counts in 3 waves down here. So that's why I've got it as an alternative, little a, little b, and little c here for the B wave, and coming down for a C of 4 here down to the 2920. Probably not the case, because we're seeing, well, the Australian market index move up quite firmly into a nice trend. So it's, and I know that it's got more to go. So this is probably the count with wave 4 being in play here. So let's just assume this is a top here for a while. So if the market's going to pull down in A, B, and C here, we can go long above this top here, okay? I mean, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for here is support on this 3,000. And the question to ask yourself, you know, is that support? Well, it's not really until it's in hindsight, but hindsight would say that if this moves up through here, then this retest in here, whatever occurs in here, we'll look at that in a bit more detail, would say, well, yeah, that's tested that. It's climbed on board and tested it. So, yeah. So, we could take the high here, this high, which is this high, the first move down, which is this first move down through here, and then the second move back up as a B wave and draw a line through it and go along that way. Let's just have a look on the tick chart here for a moment. So let me just put a bit more data in here. I don't have a problem with wave 1 here. That counts nicely in my tiny little mind. And wave 2 is cool. Wave 3 here, and the length is good. The wave 4 is good. The wave 5 has got nice 5 wave structure in here. Not a problem with that. Just that wave 3 here doesn't count very nicely for me. It's just that I can see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave. All of wave 1 and 2 is fine, and then we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for this move here as a third wave, but it's too small compared to this one and this one. So I've got a short third wave in here, so maybe there's a bigger move building, and the only way I can think about that is that the move down from the top here as an A and a B and a C, as wave 4 here, pulling back to the 38.2% retracement level here, and then moving higher. Doesn't matter, we can still do our thing, go long, but 38.2 here. So what you can do, if the market moves down to here as a little A, B, and C here, and then moves up from that point, by all means go long when you get back up. You know, if it's been trading down here and then gets back up and finds support here, trade long. If it moves down to here, or just allow it to move down, you know, and that would be down here, and this would still be part of the A wave here. So this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, which would bounce off the low of wave 4 here, and then we would see the B wave here. So I'll just put that in here. So that could just come straight down to this point and then move up. We want to go along from that point above here. But if we get 5 waves down here for the A wave, then we'll get 3 for the B and then for the C. So then we can just draw a line through, can't draw on that side of the price, but draw a line through the top of this one, the top of the B, and then you can go long from that point. That will get you long down here further in that earlier in that case. So yeah, I haven't had time to ponder this here, but if you've got time and you can figure it out, then let me know, make a comment, and yeah, all's good. But yeah, just coming back to the hourly chart here, in a nutshell, we're just looking for support. This market's moved up, it's come back down in some sort of corrective form. Yes, it can get bigger and move down through to here, but we want to start buying new highs above here, above here, above here. Yeah, so we're moving in to go long now. So and we'll be moving into wave 3. So the other point here too, before I move off, is that it's important to, if I can copy these, if that's 1 and 2 here, this will be the 3rd wave. So we're trying to get in on support on 3,000, but we want to see the same pattern here. We can move in here as well to these. Obviously, these are smaller little corrections here, but definitely get into, the idea is to get into these here. So at least 1, 2, 3 here. You can take part profit at the midpoint here. There'll be a larger correction here. There'll be wave level 1 here will have a small correction. Level 2 here will probably be a bit bigger, and wave this one here at the top of group 1 here. If group 1 finds support, then the market will move to 5. It'll go from 5 to 3 to 5 here, and the markets generally move quite quickly between these numbers. Normally quite slow between 1, 2, and 3, going up and down, and then very quick going from 3 to 5, and also once it's had its correction here from 5 to 8, it moves quite quickly here as well in this case, in these here. So we'll also have 65 in here, which is 65 is the halfway mark between 5 and 8. That's why one of the reasons that it's there, and of course the 72 there. So yeah. So the idea really is and then this here, if I copy this here, this brings us into 3,100, which is the first minor level. So these are sub-levels and these are minor levels. We can go down into micro levels as well, but essentially from 3,000 to 100 here, we've got the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, and 3, 5, and 8 here. I've just sort of built upon that story. Yeah, okay, that's enough rambling on. Enjoy the day. Cheers.